Going on YouTube, you know who it is. First and foremost, I would like to apologize that I did not get a video up last week. I made it twice. No, I made it 3 times. Uploaded it every time, and every time the audio cut out. So I just got fed up with it and didn't make it. But I will skim over last week's books at the beginning of this one, so I guess this will be last week's and this week's reviews, although they won't be too in-depth on last week's books. First up last week, Fantastic Four number 12. It's great that the Thing is on the cover here supporting this foot, or whatever it is, because he's supporting the whole book, and at this point, he's the only character in that book I care about. Captain America 11, absolutely phenomenal issue. He tries to get Jet Black to forget her past and to get over it as he's standing in his hall of his past, everything of his past, all these memories. Him and her end up burning it at the end, and we see that the new villain coming up is Nuke, the man who, I think it's Nuke, the man who eats pills to control his adrenaline. Uncanny X-Force number 11, Storm becomes a new member of Bishop's Order of the Revenant Hunters, or whatever it is, and we see that she killed her own Revenant, and I really like this. It's pretty much a solo story about Bishop for a while, but it's pretty good. Avengers Arena 15, it was good. I think Nara died, that's her name, the Atlantean girl. But they did a good job of setting it up in that. They set up, told some of her story, and then killed her off, so I actually cared a little bit about it. Indestructible Hulk number 13, Hulk ends up wielding Black Knight's ebony blade to cut through kind of time. It was really interesting, it was really cool, I really like this, and I love that cover. X-Men number 5, Chapter 3, Battle of the Atom. The future X-Men and the current X-Men kind of team up, for the most part, to send them back, to send the original X-Men back to their time. Young Jean and young Cyclops escape and go and seek help from current Scott Summers and his kind of rebel X-Men, outlaw X-Men. FBP number 3, really love this. It's like I said that at the end of the last issue that they shot a bullet, and I wasn't invested in the characters. It kind of just spun around him and ended up hitting him in the arm. The other guy, I'm not familiar with their names yet, he's setting bombs to try to blow up the Bubbleverse while they're still there. The one who got shot, our main character, went on with the mission and rescued the guy. Infinity, no, this is Infinity, it's Avengers 19. If I recall, the leader of the Spartax, I believe, Star-Lord's father, kind of betrayed them and tried to offer a truce, but then they found out where they were, so they attacked the planet. And the pick of the week last week, which I was absolutely psyched about, was Deadpool number 16. It's been a long time since Deadpool has had my pick of the week, but this book was phenomenal. He ends up being all depressed because of his child, and he's kind of down. He still takes care of business as an assassin, but he's not really cracking jokes. He actually lets his body go and lets the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent take over using his body until they need to use it for combat. He takes over, takes care of that. All these X-Men in the background were used by his tissue. They were using his tissue, the parts that they farmed off of him, if you will. And they made each of these, and they're all terribly disfigured. You have Sunfire, Wolverine. There's a nice Warpath there, or Thunderbird. I'm not sure, they didn't really specify. A Colossus, but it's very good. He ends up working with a Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler saves him, tells him that they're not trained by their powers, and it has a bunch of them tied to stakes, a bunch of Nightcrawlers tied to stakes, and they were just going down the line shooting them in the head, and whoever could teleport before they shot him in the head, that's how they learned their power. Really loved it, though. Love the way this is going. It's a phenomenal book. Alright. After that lightning run-through of last week's books, we're going to get to this week's books. Which was an absolutely stellar week. And it was stellar even with, I didn't get Daredevil this week, it was back-ordered. So I will get that next week or the week after. But it was still incredible without it, which is something to say because Daredevil usually brings a week up. Uncanny X-Men number 12, this is Battle of the Atom chapter 4. And as I said, in the last chapter of Battle of the Atom, they went to young Scott and young Jean went to current Scott and his X-Men to ask for help. In this, they talk about if they're going to help him. Scott decides they are. Emma Frost decides that's not the right thing to do and actually calls out to the future X-Men to arrive. When they arrive, Jean Grey, the older Jean Grey, future X-Men Jean Grey, is kind of attacking her younger self. And Emma Frost and the Stepford sisters, pretty much as Emma Frost, but they have her back. She says that if you want to, we call you here to take them home, not to beat up yourself. If you want to fight somebody that's hated you forever. And it's the Black Queen versus the White Queen. I hope it's actually cool. I hope it's not in Wolverine and the X-Men because I'm not getting Wolverine and the X-Men. I saw the cover, and it looked like Wolverine the X-Men was about Magic, who just disappeared after they said that she's seen these people before, the future X-Men. So I don't know what that's about. But I really did enjoy this. I'm not super stoked about Battle of the Atom yet. I feel like they're hyping it up too much. If this was just like kind of a crossover, it would be alright, but they tried to make it an event, and I don't feel it has enough power to be an event. Especially not standing up to Infinity, which is killing it right now. Wolverine Max number 11, and he's in Vegas now, and in order to make money, he's cage fighting, ultimate fighting, if you will. And it's just him fighting and talking to himself about how he has to throw certain fights so it's not, suspicious. And it's kind of a constant fight with himself while he's fighting to keep his claws in. And after one of his fights, he ends up meeting this female who he feels a connection with. He feels like he knows her. He feels like he's always, there's something behind him that he doesn't know. Maybe he knew her before. And goes back to her place. They do the dirty. And eventually, he feels like he faints. And he blacks out. And she tells him she tells him that she is a hypnotist. And he ends up leaving. And then the fighter that he beat up that previous night comes for revenge, him and a bunch of his friends. And Wolverine goes out to take care of business, and his claws won't come out. So as he just gets his ass destroyed, he gets just destroyed by these dudes. And he goes back to her, and he asks, "What have you done to me?" And she says, "Well, like you, I have many names, and call me Mother Night." So I'm guessing she hypnotized him or did something. But this book is phenomenal. If you're a Wolverine fan and you're not buying in, like I said before, to all of the other stuff going on, this is an out-of-continuity kind of... It's in the Max universe, which I don't know if it's a separate universe, but it seems like it is to me. But it's very, very good. I highly recommend checking this out. If you're a Wolverine fan, this is incredible. Now, another Wolverine book that I wasn't excited about at all, Savage Wolverine number 8. After they told me in the story arc that it wasn't Bullseye they were trying to bring back, I just lost interest. I don't care about Kingpin's wife. I didn't know too much about her. I didn't know anything. He ends up killing her. She ends up killing somebody else. Something happens. But I was not interested. I actually went to drop this. I got onto my phone. I was going to drop this. But then I saw that the next arc is kind of a futuristic sci-fi take on Wolverine on a distant planet. And it sounded interesting to me, so I'm still on this. But I hated this issue. And it just wasn't for me. Another book that I've just been kind of disappointed about and hope it ends this 2099 nonsense soon is Superior Spider-Man number 18. And I don't know enough, like I said before, about the Stone family. I don't know enough about Spider-Man 2099, maybe, to enjoy this completely. I enjoy the fact that Doc Ock as Spidey, I guess he's just Spidey now, has kind of an equal opponent to fight, because we haven't seen that. We also see Goblin, the Green Goblin, in a costume as Hobgoblin in this. I don't know where that's going. But it wasn't good to me. There was a lot in here, and I would normally like it when there's a lot to read. But I didn't in this. I didn't like this at all, and I hope it gets better, because I really don't want to drop that. Now we have an Infinity crossover in Thunderbolts 15. They're working on Frank Castle's plan to kill these kind of mafia teachers, the teachers that are teaching all the bad guys what to do. Meanwhile, Thanos' army is coming into Earth, and the leader seems not to tell anybody. He can tell Thunderbolt Ross. He sees them coming. He says nothing's going on. They begin attacking. Deadpool separates himself from the team and just goes out to a pizza place, which was interesting. And they end up just start fighting these aliens. At the same time, Mercy says that she feels all these people thinking about death, and that's when she kind of takes off. Leader doesn't say anything. It seems Leader is in cahoots somehow. I can't believe I just used that word, but he's in cahoots somehow with the armies, or he just doesn't care and he wants it to happen. Either way, it's a tie-in, and it really didn't matter like most tie-ins, but I enjoyed it. I like Thunderbolts, and I like it written by Charles Soule. And now, I mean, legitimately, this could have probably been a 6-way tie for Pick of the Week. So there's no Pick of the Week this week, because these next 6 books were all completely incredible. If I would have had Daredevil, it probably would have been a 7-way tie, because that book always kills it. And first is Number Cruncher, number 3 of 4, from the amazing mind of Cy Spurrier. And we see that the mathematician is just he keeps tricking these, keeps making alternate deals with his kind of coworkers, and he just has to keep killing him and killing him and killing him, and he has all these different ways he's going about it. And he just kind of gets bored with it, and he doesn't want to do it anymore because it's just over and over again. And he tries talking to the great mathematician or whatever his name is to stop it, and eventually he says, okay, here, and he gives him this bullet. I don't know what it means. He said that you're not the one that has to pull the trigger, something along those lines. But then the whole thought pattern shifts from this book into telling us how pitiful it is to be the woman that he's trying to stay there to love. Because every man that she meets and feels this incredible fiery connection with is dying. And I didn't even think about that before this. I mean, I should have, because it's just, I should have. But it blew my mind how they just shifted so quickly into her thought process and how she needs to stay away from men because everyone she meets and she connects with is just getting killed. And this book is just absolutely incredible. I would love to see this as an ongoing. I'm not sure if that could happen. I don't know how they're going to end it in the next issue. But I absolutely love this. And if you haven't read Number Cruncher, if you could find the last couple issues, pick it up and read it. If not, wait for it in trade, I guess, because it's worth a read. 110%. Another one of my favorite titles out that I absolutely love every single week is Cable and X-Force. This is number 14. Hope is coming back from the future, where she's a future She-Strife, and she kind of time-hacked a Deathlock unit to control her father's thoughts, so he could create the world and save things to make her world less kind of terrorizing. Her world's kind of just this apocalypse, and she wanted him to kind of start out the time frame so it wouldn't happen. That was very confusing what I just said, and I apologize if you didn't understand a word of it. But she gives Hope this kind of scimitar that, unless I'm wrong, I remember him wielding it in early issues of Cable, or maybe it was in one of the miniseries of when he was being raised or whatever, the Ascani son or whatever. But she brings it back, and he's kind of just destroying everything. The whole Avengers mansions get destroyed. Nobody can compete. He has Havoc slammed up against the wall, and she just kind of stabs him in the head with it, and it kind of saves him. But him and Cable and Havoc end up coming to a deal where they're going to let him go, because he was right. There are things that he can take care of that they can't. I just absolutely love this. And I love... Oh, and before Hope leaves the future, She-Strife, herself in the future, cuts off her cape and says that ratty thing is horrible, and gave her this crazy jetpack. So that's cool. I did like Hope's costume now, but it did get a little annoying after a while. But I like to see Hope more involved in this, and I love Cable. And perhaps his virus will go down a little bit. I don't know if his arm is permanent or if it could grow back some flesh. I hate this new arm he has. It's too mechanical. I just wish he would have the old metal arm back, where it looked like an arm but was metal. Probably won't happen, but I'm hoping for the best. Absolutely incredible. If you want to check this out, code's available, as is many other ones. I'll let you know it's available at the end of the video. And now, another book by Cy Spurrier that could possibly be pick of the week, because it was incredible. X-Men Legacy, number 17. And absolutely phenomenal. At the end of the last issue, we had young, what's his name? Daniel? I don't know. We have Legion confront Cyclops about killing his father. He wants a fight, a hand-to-hand combat, no powers used. And for about 7 or 8 pages in this, they're fighting, and it's kind of an inner battle, and they're talking about fighting, and about how no matter how you think it's going to go in your head, it's not, and it's messy, and it's brutal. And we see the difference between Legion and Scott, where Scott's trying to stop it, he's playing by the rules, he's going honorably, and Legion's kind of biting him and doing everything he can to just get that upper hand. Eventually, Legion kind of cheats, uses a little bit of power. I'm fine with it. Just that whole fight scene just overshadows everything else that happened in the book, because it was absolutely incredible. The art worked perfectly with what they were trying to portray. This book may be the best book, the best series out right now, because it's just incredible. It's a different take on everything, and I couldn't be happier about this book. There's nothing that I would change about this book. You need to read this book. Something else happened in the end of that, and I can't remember what it was because the fight scene was so awesome. Thor, God of Thunder, number 13, The Accursed Part 1. And Jason Aaron does a lovely job of setting up the character Malekith the Dark Elf in this, or the Elf King, or the Dark Elf King, whatever he is. But a wonderful job of setting him up as a, a prisoner in the kind of the pit of hell, or whatever it is, the dark pit. And he has elves coming to save him, killing these giant spiders. And it just shows us how powerful he is and how feared he is. He is portraying this wonderful picture of all the 9 worlds. And I think that Jason Aaron found what he needs to write. He could write Thor for the next 15, 20 years, and I think I'd be fine with it. The thing that really set me off about this, that really put me over the top of how incredible it was, is at the end, it's a map. And they show us all of the 9 realms. And it just blew my mind that that's the level he's thinking of right now. I cannot wait to read the rest of this. I cannot wait to read what Jason Aaron does. Excuse me. You need to be reading this. Code is available just to check this out. This is a great time to hop on this. Nothing else is brought up. Nothing else really matters from the previous arc. Right now, hop on Thor because you will not be disappointed. It is unbelievable. Now, moving into Infinity. We have New Avengers issue 10. And we have the Illuminati meeting. Black Bolt has handed over what seemed to be all of the files related to the people of Attilan to Reed Richards. It seems that it wasn't exactly 100% all of them, it seems. He gives them the Maximus to set up some type of weapon. The Black Maw, or the Ebony Maw, I can't really remember what his name is, who has kind of inhabited Doctor Strange, has went out with him, and Doctor Strange has found the son of Thanos. And that's what he wanted to do all along. I just love the diplomatic sense in this, and I love the democracy, and I love the conversations. I love kind of the internal government that they have with each other. And Deodato's artwork puts this one over the top. We also have the failed member of his guard, the Black Ogre, the Ogre, whatever his name was, the big guy who failed at Wakanda, coming back to Thanos, and he kind of just crushes him, and he says, "You failed me. I sent you to raise a world, and you bring me nothing but embarrassment," or something like that. And Mike Deodato drawing Thanos is what I've always wanted to see, and it's incredible, and I love it, and you need to read this. New Avengers is phenomenal. All Infinity is phenomenal, which I will continue to speak of in the last book this week, Infinity Part 3. Incredible cover here. We see all of the builders destroying the world after, like I said from last week, Star-Lord's father gave them away. Nobody really knows they did, but they gave them away. Half, or like 3/4 of the people who are still remaining have knelt to them, and because the builders offered them kind of a truce, but not really. They say, "You kneel to us, you tell us that we won, you surrender, and we'll let you live." Each of these planets, the Kree are giving up. Ronan the Accuser had to give up. They're all kneeling to one builder, just one builder, and they're all kneeling to one. And they're kind of talking about how they're going to beat them and how they're going to do anything. And Captain America says, "I have a plan. You're thinking too much of, you're looking at the chessboard the wrong way. You're used to playing in a point of power, but that's not where we are, so we need to do something different." They let Captain America plan, and Earth's greatest strategist comes through, because he has Manifold teleport into... Let me go back. He says we need to set up bait, so they send some ships in front. All of the fleet goes after them. He has Manifold teleport around the back and take control of some of the computers so they could control some of the ships and shoot on each other. They actually win a battle in this, and it's phenomenal. There's some wonderful moments where Hulk's in another ship with the member of the Skrulls. I just absolutely love this. I loved Cap in this. And then you have Black Bolt, he's evacuated Attilan. Thanos is coming to meet with him. And Thanos is saying, "I offered you 2 options. The Gauntlet, so I could just destroy your world, or I offered you, the kind of the peaceful way, where you offered me my tribute." And he says, "What do you say to that? Do you want me to destroy everything?" Or something along those lines. And Black Bolt just stands up, and we all know Black Bolt's power, where he can't speak or destroys everything, just screams no. And it just shows all of Attilan kind of imploding in upon everybody. Wow. I know I say wow every issue of Infinity, and I know I feel like this is written for me. In Humans, we have Thanos, we have Deodato drawing New Avengers. It feels like it's written for me, and it's incredible to me. But I really recommend checking it out. Please read Infinity, because I know anybody who probably read Age of Ultron was turned off from any type of event. this is how an event should be done. This is how an event should be done. That's all I have to say. It's how an event should be done. And it is absolutely incredible. I feel like I went through all my books really fast. I don't know why. Digital codes that are available. We have Avengers is not available. X-Men is available. X-Men number 5. Indestructible Hulk 13 is available. Uncanny X-Force number 11 is available. Captain America number 11 is available. Infinity, not available. New Avengers is available. Thor is available. Cable and X-Force is available. Read Number Cruncher. I don't have a code, but you should read it. Superior Spider-Man is not available. Savage Wolverine is available. And Uncanny X-Men is available. So, I mean, I feel like 2 weeks of books, and I read through them pretty quick. But I thank you guys for watching, and I don't know if anybody cared if I didn't put a video up last time anyway. But either way, let me know if there's books out right now that I should be reading. I didn't pick up any DC Villains books this week, just trying to stop. Pittsburgh Comic-Con's next week, which I'm super stoked about. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a good time. Going to have a lot of books to show off, hopefully. But, I mean, thank you for watching, and let me know what you think. And as always, have a great day.